Hi guys, Richard at Orange Campers, and in this video I'm going to share some tips and tricks on how to keep warm through the winter months in your camper van. Now, as you can see, I'm dressed for a warmth. I've got my body warmer on, I've got my beanie hat on, and this is one surefire way to keep warm. I've been away in the pop top with the two boys. In fact, we went to Sonia's dad's and me and my boys slept on my drive. The boys are funny. They wanted to sleep in my van rather than my grandpa's. So me, two boys and my dog slept in the van on the drive, and Sonia slept in my house. So, but we had a great time, and we used it as an adventure and so on. But I noticed the nights are really getting colder. The mornings are getting colder, especially when it's a clear night and you can see the stars. That temperature really drops. And being in the pop top, it's obviously colder the pop top than the high top because it's got a single skin tent on the roof. You know, there's always a compromise in vans, and we get 4 berth out of this quite easily rather than 2 berth in the high top. And the compromise is it's a bit colder in winter, but there are ways to keep warm. Now let me know how you keep warm in your van, and what tips you've got, and good advice for other campers what are thinking, can I use my van over winter? Now you know us, we use ours all over winter because there's nothing better than if you've been out for Sunday League football with the kids and it's raining. I get back in my van, first thing I do is use the loo for starters because I'm of an age. It's cold, I make a cup of tea and I put the heating on, we get warm, and you know, Billy often gets changed because he's wet through or covered in mud. So it's such an advantage to have a camper. Like I always keep saying, it's not just holidays, it's everyday use, it really is. So it's great in the fact that you can keep warm, get changed, use the toilet and so on. But how do you keep your van warm? There's several different ways. Let's start with a glass first of all. Glass is going to be the worst area to get the cold or heat loss. Now that's why we have double glazed windows in the rear throughout. A lot of vans you'll see have got glass and it's so much colder because it soaks all the heat out, lets all the cold in. Now you've got to have glass in the front. So the way round that is we do an internal wrap or internal silver screen type blind, which goes on the inside. It's padded, it's quilted, it's thermal, and it just suckers up against the window. That's one option. Easiness about that is it's inside, you can just pop it up. The downside to it is you get a little bit of condensation against the window. If you've been in for a day or so and you've had the heater on, you can get a bit of condensation build up behind it. The other option is an old external thermal wrap, and the external one, simply you hook it round the doors, shut the door on it. It's got a cutout for the wing mirror. You throw it round, do the same on the other side, and it's on. It's on the outside of the van. Now that's great because it keeps the frost off, the condensation. As soon as you take that off, it's ready to use, it's ready to drive. Now the downside to that is it gets a little bit damp or it can be wet. So I always give it a shake. It comes in a bag, you can pop it away, slightly damp, get it out next time you remember and give it a dry and so on. Or if you can and it's not raining while you're taking it off, then give it a wipe down before you put it back in its bag. So everything's got pros and cons against it. You know, some work better. I do use the external quite a lot because I find it's much easier. I don't have to demist all the windows when I'm about to set off. So there's that method as well. Now the other massive heat loss is going to be your canvas because it's a tent up there. So we do make exactly the same for the front window we make for the roof as well. Now it's an external silver screen and that just makes it so waterproof and weatherproof. It really is good. So if you're going to stay for a day or two, pop it up, it's amazing. And then leave the roof up. If you're not travelling about in your van and you're not having to take it down and off, it's really worth putting up, it really is. You need a little collapsible ladder. I've got one of those telescopic ones, 2 meters high. Put a foam pad at the top of it, lean it up against your van because it goes behind your rams and behind the hinges, velcros together. Really useful, great bit of kit, and it's such a difference. You know, the kids will be sweating up there when it's like that. I've often used it in summer to keep the sound out when we're young kids and what have you. We're not so bad now because they don't go to bed anyway until late. But it keeps the sound out as much as it does the heat and whatever. So it keeps the heat in your van and the cold out. Now there is you can get an internal one. They're not as common. You know, you have to have them specially made for your van and so on, so you could do it on the inside. The downside to that is it's not preventing, or it's not fully helping you with all the aspects of the weather, because it's on the inside, not the outside. So those are the two main heat losses. The next thing, heaters. Now, you know our vans all come with heaters as standard. You've got a gas option, or you can upgrade to the diesel version as well, and with that you can have hot water with a diesel version. So the upgrade to that is really useful. And the heaters, the night heaters, you can run all night, you can leave them on. You never do, because the fan would probably wake you up, and you don't need to. It's just there to get the van warm before bed. You get into bed, you're snugly anyway, and it does retain heat. The van, it's really good. And in the morning, you switch it on, warm it up before you venture out the quilt. So a heater's a great aid as well. Now, the high top, me and Sonia, you know, just after this week, it's a good test, because like I say, within a week I'd use the pop top and the high top version. Me and Sonia had just been away for a couple of nights on our own, which is nice, and we're in the high top. And the difference between these two vans, the high top is noticeably warmer because it's fully insulated, top, sides, walls everywhere, and there's no heat loss through the canvas like this one. So you do get a nice warmer van and so on. But exactly the same van, same windows, same protection on the front, things like that. Had the heater on, and that was lovely. Now, other methods, you got the heater. You don't need covers on the back windows, because all these are double glazed, and that really does prevent cold, you know. So that really helps. And another method, simple things, you know, hot water bottles. Sonia's always got a hot water bottle near her. She's shocking. She's as nesh as they come, which is a bit of a northern word, nesh. But last year we had the electric blanket. Now, when you're on a campsite, electric blanket's lovely. I've become a real electric blanket man. I love sitting there with my electric blanket on. And if you're on a hookup, if you're on a campsite, you plug it into the mains, all your sockets are live, just plug it in and use it as you would. You can even have it on your bed at night time to give it an extra bit of warmth, and you just have it trickling away, things like that. Let me know your thoughts on that, and do you use one at the minute if you've got your own van? Now, other methods, there's all sorts of methods really. You know, lots of heating devices. You can put your feet in one of those little heated snoodies. Now you can also get jackets with battery powered heater elements in, and they're quite good. So you can get hoodies, body warmers like that, jackets, and they're battery powered as well. You can get covers for seats nowadays, and they've got the same thermal things in, where they've got heated pads in as well. So there's a few things there. And let me know, like you say, if you know anything better, please let me know. I love to hear tips and tricks of what people actually use. So if you wanted to know any more, you can come and see us. You can have a workshop tour, and you can come and see us at our workshop in Rotherham. You can see us up and down the country at the campervan shows, and you can come and have a chat anytime.